Namaskaram everyone, this is Vishwaksen and welcome to Vaka Talks, where we talk about mental health and emotional well-being in different kinds of relationships. We are talking about different stages in an unhealthy relationship, and now let's move to the smear campaign. So, if we are finally uh, successful in leaving the toxic relationship after multiple cycles of hoovering, or if the toxic partner decides or realizes that they have a chance at a better supply and we are not providing as much supply as they want anymore, there is a smear campaign in both the cases, when we leave them and when they decide to leave us. So once one side, when we leave them, the smear campaign happens after we end the relationship. If they decide to leave us, the smear campaign happens after they have decided, but we are still in the relationship. So what happens is, in this smear campaign, they double down on their efforts in painting us in very negative light. They keep talking about how insecure we are, how dependent we are, how we cannot do anything by ourselves, we are completely dependent on them, and how much of a burden we are, and how much of a saint they are for putting up with us for so long. They have been doing it uh, as an undercurrent throughout the relationship, from the time that they started isolating us. So now they're just increase the magnitude of that, because they have to be the victor, they have to be the victim as well, they have to be the saint in the narration. And we are, if we have cut ties with them, we are just trying to live one day at a time, we are trying to gather our resources, we are trying to live our lives. So we don't put an effort in trying to go on telling people of how bad the situation was with them. At the same time, when they decide to leave us, we don't know that they have decided to leave us. They don't act any different, they have been as distant as they were every time. So we don't put an effort in trying to tell people how things were for us, how much we were being exploited, and they take the narrative and spin it in such a way that they are painted as the victim, and we are the aggressor. We are being we are being extremely stubborn, we are being extremely difficult, and how difficult it is to live with us, when we have been catering to all their whims and fancies throughout this time, all these months or years. They they need to paint us in a very negative light, because they need to get to their new supply. If they are silent and they try to find a new supply, then they might find out some forms of truth of what happened in when they were in a relationship with us, and it might be difficult for them to get new supply. So they have to paint us as negative as possible, so they get the brownie points in their next endeavor. And when we actually talk to them, ask them about different relationships and uh, different people in their lives, we will always hear that the other person is such a huge a hole, the other person is such a b, this other person has been such a huge burden, has been so toxic, and they always paint themselves to be the victim. And we feel sorry for them. We felt sorry for them. That is one of the reasons why we got into a relationship with them as well, because that made them so human, being a target. So when they painted themselves as a victim, we felt sorry for them. So that is a very strong emotion that also bound us to them, and they are going to use this smear campaign against us while they are love bombing someone else. So there will be an overlap. There's almost always an overlap when at the end of the relationship with us and the next victim. There would have been an overlap when they were love bombing us as well. They were smear campaigning their previous victim. So it is a very, very strong tool, and they put in all their efforts because they cannot have any negative sides to them. Otherwise people will feel that, oh, this person has a flaw. They have to appear flawless to people. They have to be at the top of the social pyramid. They have to be the best. So they put in more resources than they have in painting us as the villain and painting them as the victim and the saint at the same time, so that they can move on to their next victim, next source. So when we and the toxic people should always have a supply, otherwise they are extremely insecure. They move from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship. They keep jumping from one to the other because they are in a constant need of supply. And sometimes, quite a lot of times, they have multiple sources of the supply. They are in multiple relationships at the same time. Well, if you are in a meaningful relationship, yes, you need to put in time and effort into that, and care and emotions into that. But when you're actually, all your relationships are toxic and you're just using them, you don't need to put in much effort. So they can maintain multiple relationships at the same time, where not a single relationship is meaningful. And this is the stage of smear campaigning, where they try to protect their portrayal in the society, in the social circle, and they try to be the victim to move on to the next supply. If you like my content, please hit the like button, and please share your experiences in the comment section below, and please share my video with people you feel would benefit from my content. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Until we meet again.